Good morning, friends. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Gonna give it a few moments for everybody to hop on before we begin. Hey, let me know if you guys can see this in better quality now. I went ahead and adjusted a couple of the settings, so I'm hoping it's a little better. Not hopeful about it, but yeah, we'll see how this comes through. I'm actually gonna go check it on my end as well. See how the quality is looking over here. Nope, still coming up 720. Why? But it looks better on my end though. When I look at it, nope, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I've adjusted everything. I don't know why this still keeps coming up on 720. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So if anybody has any tips on how I can correct this, that would be great. That's so weird, man. Anyway, you guys still should be able to see everything over here. So let's wait for everybody to get in here. Let me see see if I tweeted out a tweet this morning. It did. Yes, it did. But it's doing Streamlabs. Damn it. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it's doing it on Streamlabs. Fuck. Let me delete this one. All right. Yeah, that sucks big time. I don't know why it's doing that. I mean, I know why Twitch is doing that. Twitch doesn't want me to get 1080 until I'm partnered. So that makes sense on Twitch, but on YouTube there shouldn't be a restriction, but whatever. Hi, good morning, dude. Early in the morning. You're on in the afternoon, early in the morning. I see IQ's coming up to an FTA, so I'm really interested on that one. X finishing up after the FTA. Let's just wait for people to get in, and then I'll start yapping around. Let me let my friends know in Discord. If you guys can go ahead and, like and retweet this, that'd be fantastic. All right. Dude, been having to block all these people all morning long, or at least mute like what they're saying to me. It's been absolutely horrendous. Yeah, nice little move off the morning. Looks like we're still going over here, so it's much more to go over here. We have gap fill all the way up over here. We'll go ahead and draw that line out as well. So let's see what we do over here. So nice little push off the morning. Really just want to focus on that FTA pushing out. And the big thing that's going on right now is notice how like this line is kind of flat right now with the Kijin and the Tenkin. So there's definitely some indecision going on over here with everything. Oh, what do you want, Pi? Hello. My dog's looking at me. Who's this? Dude, Digox, thank you for the sub. Yeah, if anybody else is joining the stream, go ahead and hit the sub button. It's free on here versus my Twitch. Twitch, I think you gotta pay unless you're doing it through Prime. Here, it's just sub away. That way you guys know when I'm gonna be going live. I'm gonna be definitely kicking up the streams on YouTube a lot more. The one other thing to notice out over here is the cloud structure right now. The other day we were trying to form out like this where we were gonna close out, and then today, cloud structures are going parallel. Love to see it because typically this ends up opening up and extending back through. So there's definitely some hope over here for us to continue on up much further. Dixie, zero strength, still looking at, a little bit lower over here. I'm just going to wait for a few more people before I get in. Yeah, I mean, most of our stuff is really just metals. That's kind of what I've been focusing on. Anything else hasn't really been much of crazy position sizing on things. Just kind of earning some money here and there. You know, another one. Hi-O sub 2. You come from YouTube. You come from Twitch, so I already know you're an MVP. I gotta adjust a couple things in here too, so you guys have like special colors and special names for the people from YouTube. Here's a little bit of alpha I see people using. Everybody uses a 200 MA in Stockland. They also toss in the 50, and they also, some of them toss in the 21. So yeah, definitely worth checking these out and just adding these on if you're interested. Obviously, my strategy is the B bands and Ichi, but I definitely love looking at where the 200 and AMA is typically. Yeah, we're pretty much clear on any more FOMCs for a little bit. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what they say. Yeah, if they pause, oof. All right, let's we can just go ahead and begin. Anybody else, I believe you can just go always rewind these streams unlike Twitch. So, let's just go ahead and begin over here. Just gotta figure out what my dog's doing. What do you want? Ew, pie. So right now, so we ended up gapping up this morning. That was typically based off of our 1 day setup over here. Let me get to the 1 day. Let me turn off the charts and everything. So we were going over an FTA right now, so it's normal that we ended up dumping down. This would have been our complete point of failure right now if we ended up breaking through this FTA. So I think a couple of you guys DM me saying that they bought calls around this point. So we did end up popping up over here on a few things, which is technically a good sign for the market. It doesn't really put us in the full clear yet because we do need some kind of indication that this is going to go ahead and go through. Really, I mean, I did go ahead and say take profit this morning. That's kind of the main thing right now, is just taking profit whenever you do see things that go up. So if you wake up in the morning and you're seeing 15-20%, you should go ahead and take it. The main plays that we're looking for those 100%ers on is mostly those metal plays. So that's kind of where we're looking for a lot of those 100%. But we'll go through a couple more and see how things go. So let me go through, let's go through my list. IQ 4 hour looks fine. Just the big point on this one would be is that we're going to be coming up through an FTA. So we see if we go ahead and break down over here. If we do go ahead and pull back on this one, you're looking at about 324 over here for the pullback point. And if we break into the clouds on IQ, that'll be bad. X over here completely recovering out. The one thing about X over here, again, we're finishing up through the FTA over here. Let's see how we do on this FTA point once we're done clearing it. We're pretty much at resistance right now, so it makes sense if we consolidate a little bit more before we take off. Before any kind of big, larger cloud structure starts coming up over here, this ends up being the line on 1228. So we have until 1228 to make sure we go ahead and continue on up. Cloud structure right now from the future. It doesn't look like SPY right now, so there's still potential to go ahead and close out and come back down. So we still need a little bit more time for us to fully confirm. That's why I'm looking forward to buying more things closer to the end of the month. And that's kind of what I keep saying to you guys is, it's probably best for a lot of people to wait for the end of the month right now, just because markets are a little sketchy. We're still waiting for a lot of things to happen in the market, and at the end of the month is when we're going to be looking for a lot of these order flow players to see if they're going to be buying any of those 2025 plays, 2024 plays. Let's see if there's other setups that were good looking. APIs out of here, so this is one that I'm interested in getting long at the end of the month as well. Just a little bit further along, so I would say let's see how this holds up on Friday. If this ends up holding over at the 360 point by Friday, I wouldn't mind getting long this one. Just commons. Most of my things are in commons. There's some option plays that I'm doing, but again, they're not much of anything of crazy size. Somebody said this morning, this is the one that I got in on stream the other day just because it looked really nice. Apparently the CEO's been buying a bunch of shares and he bought 700k shares, so it makes sense we ended up popping up. So we do have a gap fill up at this point, and I took off a little bit this morning, but I still do have a little bit of position left in this. Let's go to AAL. See, AAL, I should have bought this one because we had order flow coming in yesterday for this one, and it would have been a nice little pop, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Let's go through a couple more. GE bouncing off. So GE had a better reaction than Ford. Ford really didn't move on this one. I think a couple people were asking me to grab lottos on this one, but I mean, it's a nice bounce over here. But it has a lot of work to do over here on this one. So nice bounce off of support, but I mean, it has so much more work to do before we end up getting back in the clear. GE looks a million times better than this. So I don't personally mind waiting for Ford to come up much higher than this before I end up getting into Ford. So still waiting on Ford. Camping World looks like shit. Xer is trying its hardest to hold up on support. Tesla with barely any kind of bounce should go ahead and continue on lower. SLB's one of these ones that I like the fact that it ended up clearing back over the Kijun, so this is something that's back on play right now. This is something I'll set up alerts for. QCOM, a little bit of a bounce after we've had a couple days, but I mean, I'm still pretty confident that this isn't going to be breaking back over 114 right now. So it's the same play as everything else. Let me go ahead and just do something else over here. So if we invert this, so this is inverted real quick. Where is the bounce point for the inverted? It's right over the FTA point. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now to see how we get down over here. So again, this is inverted. So it doesn't matter which way you're looking at it right now. So we're going to see if we can get over this FTA point. If we do, then this will be in the clear. But right now, it shouldn't be. The one that I ended up buying over here was SOX. So I did end up buying SOX the other day. So kind of just back to break even on SOX. We'll see what ends up happening over here. This was kind of more so just a hedge on everything in case we do end up dumping out. So I'm not overly concerned if I do get stopped out. This is going to be below the Kijun point for an invalidation. What else do we have? Coca-Cola is finishing up on the FTA, so this will be a good long over here. Like, these are the ones that I'm really, really hoping that don't end up popping off too soon. Like, I'm hoping these things can consolidate a little bit more before they take off. Because Coca-Cola is one of the ones that are a really good name that I love trading. So you're looking at about $69, $70 for an upper target on this one. I mean, it has just a little bit more to go before we do go ahead and take off. And for my diagonal enjoyers, just a little bit more. Where is everyone on stream? Where's my stream friends? Hold on. All right, let's see. Let's keep going through. Candy with a bounce. Yeti looks still bad. Like, see, there's ones like this that barely had a reaction that are still going flat. Like, that's the main thing that we want to I want to get stressed around to you guys. Before in the past couple months, we haven't had this kind of price action where we've had the Kijun and the Tenkan line go ahead and flat out together. And that's the main two structures that we're looking at right now. We're looking at two things going over an FTA, and we're looking at things starting to flatten out over here. So it's kind of funny that this is all happening near the end of the month. So I really, really think that we're going to be in for a nice little kickoff in the beginning of the month for next month. Yeah, I should. Yeah, I know. I need to get my Twitch broadcasting at the same time. I'll have to figure out on how to do that. I forget how I was doing it before. Yo, Marathon Charts, good morning. Amazon's still weak over here. Not much going on with Amazon. Barnes Group, again, another one to notice over here with the what's going on with the Kijun and the Tenkan over here. Flat. Let's take a look over here. So SPG is one of the ones that if this one does end up breaking down a little further, this should go ahead and reset fully down to about 105. So we're seeing what happens over here, if we can flip the Kijun or not. FTA, waiting for the FTA. FTA ends on 12/28. That 12/28 date is very, very important with the strategy. So, like, next week is going to be super important for a lot of these plays, and I'm really curious to see what's coming in for order flow right now as well. This is early in the morning, so let's see if there's any kind of data coming in. ET coming in with that data back and forth. SLV coming in with some more data as well. Ford coming in with some plays. So, like, the Ford ones are very interesting at this point. So, like, Ford is one that I'm interested in buying and seeing if we do get some sort of relief, especially if it's something that where I can buy leaps on. Let me go to ET real quick. So ET starting to bounce off a little bit. Still does need to go ahead and clear of the Kijin before we're good. I think this will probably have a little bit more strength coming in the first to second week of January. Let me go check crude out real quick. Yeah, so it's kind of just flattened out over here. So if I was going to set up anything, it would be more so like this. If we do start breaking back below that 78 point, it should go ahead and continue down lower. For right now, what we're looking for is a little bit of consolidation. And where is the cloud structure point? So you're looking at something like this, which is the date is. So this ends up being the second week of January, and if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be buying back barrels of oil come the end of January, early February. So that's going to be an interesting play on itself. Bitcoin actually did end up getting long this morning just to see what ends up happening over here. So this play style with Bitcoin is pretty much, let's see over here. So we've got this going on. Let me get to the 4 hour. So yeah, this is pretty much the Bitcoin long play over here right now. Is Kijin was the invalidation on the 4 hours, so I did end up getting filled on everything on this little wick, and we're just playing it up just a little higher. Not much, not too much on this one. So if you notice this on this point, so we're playing first target would be around the 1760 point, and then the final target would be around the 17.4 point. So we'll see if we continue on up or if I get invalidated on this. Keep going down the list. Boeing with a nice pop over here, so still looking for the target around the 231 point unless cloud structure breaks somehow. This one has been fine. We're pretty much past the FTA, so this should continue on much higher. Bi-weekly plays is probably the more so bet on options. If you guys are struggling on options or if you guys are trying to make some money, you don't need to do options in this market. You can do other plays in the market, especially if you're trying to make money and you're struggling on figuring out a play style. Definitely don't hop into options. Like, that's the last thing you want to do, especially if you're doing bi-weekly options. Like right now, more so than anything. I keep stressing that this month is just a month for like fast, quick scalps. Nothing of real interest to where you can do like those longer term plays just yet. So you just want to get an understanding of play styles and get a set of rules in play first. So that's why doing commons is the best bet. You'll lose a lot more if you're wrong right now in the markets with options versus just doing commons. You can get stopped out with 2-3% and still survive, but then options wise, if things go wrong and you don't have the patience on things, you'll end up losing 40 to 50%. See what else we got. Neo, what's going on here with Neo? Neo's trying to hold up on the clouds. If it does break down below this, it'll just end up getting bad. So right now, Neo needs to clear over the $12 point to be a long. DBN is still bad. That's energy and oil. SFM is trying its hardest. So SFM just needs to flip over at the 34 point. And then we got much higher on SFM over here. So you're looking at about 44 or 45 over here once we clear this 35 point. New Way's trying its hardest to recover out of the clouds, but again, this isn't looking too good because unlike everything else, which ended up having a flat Kijin and Tenkin, this is already going into a bearish TK, so you are looking at lower if this gets into the clouds. So that'll be our short trigger play for this one. If this gets into the clouds, you'll be looking at much, much lower over here, and you'll be looking for a push down to about 108. So New Way's going to be one I'm going to be looking for puts in if we can't manage to hold up. Apple bouncing off. Apple still has a bunch more to go before we get bullish again. CMCA trying to pass over the FTA. Notice how like the Kijin and Tenkin lines are parallel right now. Market's flat. Biotech held up on the trend line right now, so we're really just looking for 1 or 2 breaks on biotech right now. You're looking at for a break over here at 86, so I can go ahead and play it to about 94, 98. If we do break this diagonal line, you're looking at a little bit lower around this. Where are we looking at? I mean, the first point for biotech would be somewhere around this point, around the 72, 73 point, and then we can look much lower. Basically, biotech hasn't had any kind of good price action at all whatsoever. What do you want to leave my room? Let's look at SFM again. Yeah, SFM, I mean, in general, like, Sprouts Farmers Market is just one of those grocery store retailers, so I'm very bullish on this one. So, I mean, I just can't help but being bullish on this, especially if I can see some options order flow coming in. That's what I'm looking for the end of the month. If we can get some kind of data coming in, that'll be very interesting. Let's see if there's any block players that we're buying this month. No, yeah, there are no block players buying into calls right now, so it's still kind of flat right now. There are some dark pool buyers, but let's see. After hours or early. 33.40, 33.48. Where's 33? Yeah, so you have block players that are pretty much buying around this little area right now. So that's why I'm really looking forward to this expansion out a little bit more. So I wouldn't mind doing some calls just a little bit more before we're in the clear right now. But yeah, Sprouts is another one that looks really, really nice. USO with a little bit of a pop again. This isn't in the clear yet, but this is very interesting considering that they've already announced when they're going to be buying back some barrels. Peak coming over in FTA. Dude, GDX lines going flat again. Let me check out metals. Let's see how things are going over here on metals land. See if there's anything crazy going on. Riding off the clouds over here. Still coming back up. So CDE, it's finally starting to look like there's some sort of play forming over here. Looks like we're holding up on the POC right now in volume shelf point. Let's go refresh this. So if we can make it out a little bit higher, I wouldn't mind getting long on this one. This has been a little bit of a struggle. This is the only ticker that's been a little annoying and hasn't pushed yet. So it still hasn't moved to make the three, make it up to about $5. So a little bit more before we clear out. HMY is still fine. AUY is going to be heading up higher than this. So if you're in these metal plays, like these are still very, very good. We had another push up this morning with the IAG right in the resistance over here. So you're still looking to flip out over here. What's interesting with this one, let's see what's going on here. So yesterday we actually had BMO Capital. We had Canaccord Genuity and one other person, which is CIBC. They all upgraded it from sell to hold. So they're saying go ahead and hold this one. 2 months ago, Bank of America upgraded it from a buy to sell. So Bank of America really timed the bottom on this one. Who was the other guys? BMO Capital said to just keep holding, but the Bank of America was the real MVP over here, saying buy the dip and holding. So whoever their buyers are that ended up buying at this point, more power to them. They're up 84%. So who is this person that did that? Michael J. Lolan. I've never actually looked up to see if they actually have Twitter pages. I don't think they're allowed to do that stuff. Let's see how you spell his last name. Jlonen. My stock friend? No. I think I found his Twitter, but it doesn't look like he talks about stocks. I didn't think so, because you're not technically supposed to talk about that, especially if you're working at those kind of places. At least that's what my friends tell me that do work there. But yeah, all these tickers are still very, very good. I still have full confidence in these. These are the ones that you can just pretty much ride out and not have to worry about anything on. All still looking good over here. If you want any kind of invalidation points for any of these plays, if we do break into the clouds, that'll be bad. But for right now, it doesn't look like anything like that is going to be happening. If you want to throw any kind of caution, it would be something like this. If Dixie starts pumping out a little too much, then it'll be bad. But right now, there doesn't look like there's any kind of sign on Dixie pumping out. What we're looking for a flip to get bullish on Dixie would be about 104. So any kind of plays that I grab with Dixie being to the upside is just pretty much hedges in case we do bounce. And the only reason I'm concerned is because of the fact that we have been pretty much grinding down, and that's my only real concern on this. Let's check out a couple more. Sting is still grinding up, so Sting still looks good. One of you guys mentioned this, and I know Stonk Trump plays this one, so we're kind of just support testing over here. I see this continuing into all-time highs into the new year. TGB with our magic lines over here, right at the resistance point. So a little bit of consolidation after its deal announcement, so I see us consolidating a little bit further, which will just give us more chance to go ahead and buy up. But right now, once we go ahead and clear this point, you're looking at about 184 for the clear point, and then we're good to go a little higher. I'm going to keep the stream a little short. I'm going to keep it at 30 minutes, and then we'll get back on Twitch. So let me run through a couple more over here. My crypto list is completely ruined right now. Let me just check out lower time frame SPY action, see what's going on here. Yeah, kind of just pushing up over here. We're still looking to see if we fully gap fill for today. So if we do, I would say by power hour we should start pulling back, because right now at some point we're going to start punishing the people who are going to be getting into late calls. So I'm pretty sure anybody who got in early in the morning should be doing fine. But let me just check somebody else who does this. What is CLF Trader? Yeah, let's see what he did this morning. He's grabbing some puts over here with this. Oops, that was my dog. Can you check SI flow? Yeah. Oh, Silvergate. Haha. Let's check it. 87% bullish for the month. Let's check for the week. 81% bearish for the month as well. There's a few plays coming in, but it's fairly bearish. The only bullish plays that are coming in are for just 2 days out, and it's not really anything worthwhile. Everything's pretty much bearish on this one. But again, there's not much dated plays either. The only dated plays you're seeing right now are 127 puts right now, and 120 puts as well. So no dated interest. Let me check the chart over here on this. The pups are good. Yeah, thank you for asking. They're all over here, unfortunately. The one just left, but the rest of them are sleeping. Yeah, they're not used to me being up this early. They're like, what are you doing up? I'm looking for short-term cheap puts. Let me look at the chart again. Hang on. Silvergate Capital. I mean, there's not much movement, so I don't know why you'd want to. I mean, I do see like the drama behind it, so I suppose you can keep riding it down. I guess if I was gonna play anything on this one, I would assume that the volatility is gonna be not in your favor. I'm opening it up right now on my phone. Because if there's no volatility, you're not going to make any money. You'll have to buy something dated. Silvergate Capital. I don't know. Let's just pick January 13th. We'll just pick January 24 puts and see how things are looking over here on this side of things. We'll do... Yeah, I guess there still is open interest. Doesn't matter how low you go on this. 79, 77... So okay, so with this one, it looks like the play would be trying to stick to OTM on anything like this. So I wouldn't pick anything in the money because it's a little too expensive for in the money, and you're going to be exposed to a lot of decay if you're going to buy in the money. So if you were going to pick anything at all, I would say sub 14 seems to be the ideal play. Let me make sure. Yeah. No. Yeah, so if you're gonna pick anything, pick something below $13 if you're gonna be any kind of strikes for puts, because everything else is kind of wrecked over there. If you try to get into, there's not much open interest on those things, and the theta decay is just gonna absolutely destroy you. So the other way you can go about this one is, I mean, if I was forced to pick a play and somebody was like, "Yo, I need to find a play," see, even if I go outdated, there's not much going on. Let's go to May. Nope, nothing for May. Yeah, see, like the open interest and everything for Silvergate puts isn't really that healthy. Like if I was gonna pick anything, I guess it would be either February or May, and it would be sticking around that $10 range for puts. But again, you need some kind of volatility in your favor, so I don't know if this would be the best one. Yeah, if I can get a little bit more of a higher of a play, I wouldn't mind doing some calls on this one. But puts just seems like a little bit of an overcrowded play on this one. Let me check out the one last ticker that I'm going to get off. AZO. This is the recession-proof ticker. So if AZO can come back up, I wouldn't mind doing some calls on this. I'd probably do some lottos on this as well. Let's just check out how these look. AZO. January 27th, and we're looking at 26 something. Damn, these are expensive. I mean, these are expensive, but there's no open interest on these either. Let me check into this one a little further. Yeah, nothing for AZO calls right now at all. This is more so a commons play typically, but let me just go back a little further. Nothing at all whatsoever. One set of puts that came in on 1028. So AZO is more so a commons play, but I expect this one to go ahead and fully recover out unless things go bad. The real big thing about AZO is going to be how they fare out when we start switching to all electrical, but I don't see anything bad happening with this one. I assume that once we switch out to full electric vehicles, they'll just end up carrying more electric vehicle parts. So that'll be the real big factor for AZO, because right now AutoZone does almost everything for used car vehicle parts, which I hope you guys all know that. All right, let me just do SPY, and then I'm going to go ahead and get off, and then I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Twitch in a little bit. So right now, what we're still looking for is for this gap. As close as we can get this gap fill, and then I wouldn't mind doing some puts for the day. So for right now, just waiting for this to run up a little bit more, and at some point, they're going to go ahead and start punishing out put players. So if you're looking for any kind of play style right now, what you're going to want to look for is the 1 minute cloud structure to break down. The moment this cloud structure breaks down, it should start running down further. And at that point, you'll be looking at just switch your time frames as you go through. So if you start seeing the 1 minute time frame break through, see where the 3 minute lies out next to break through. Because if we're looking at the 3 minute, if we lose the Tenkin over here, you're looking at the Kijun point. And if we start losing those levels, you'll start going a little lower. So it makes sense we're going up still, so definitely don't want to Don't want to try to short this just yet. Just wait for your trigger. So, yeah, I'm going to get off. I'm trying to keep my YouTube streams not so long just yet until we start getting some more viewers back here. I still got to let all my Twitch people know that I'm on here. So, yeah. Thank you very much for the couple people that did hop in, and I will catch you guys in a little